Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to do my EveryDollar budget. I'm doing it a few days early because it's New Year's, it's the end of December, it's the end of the year, and I need to get it done early. So not everything is cleared, but 99% of everything's cleared. And so I'm ready to move on to January, get my January budget set up, and move on from there. So the income came in as expected, and all the categories and stuff like that. Our tithing and offerings happened. The only thing new in this section was we added extra $100 to our gift to Christ at our church. We have this new initiative with Serve the City and in Kosovo and in the Baltics, and we're really excited. We actually have one of our one of our church members that are planning to move within the year to the region and help do church planting and serve the city out there in Kosovo, which is a very exciting I'm just blown away idea of where things are going and what people are doing. So I'm really excited about that. Now moving on to my paycheck to paycheck budgeting. Now, EveryDollar is a monthly budgeting app. So this is a little different, something new that I set up for myself because I like to spend paycheck to paycheck. I like to track paycheck to paycheck because it's actual money I actually have in my account at that time period, and it just works for me. So in order to apply it to a monthly app, I took my 4 spending categories. These 4 spending categories are what I use to stay within a certain number for the budget for every month. So we can spend grocery household, and we can spend on restaurants, we can spend on miscellaneous stuff and gasoline without really busting our budget. It's a section of our budget where we have a lot of freedom to really buy what we want, buy what we need. It's easy to track. It helps me make better decisions on, I should hold off on this for a little while, but I'm good if we do this. And I have less repercussions in the future for problems. So absolutely love it. Now, in the month of December, went a little bit overboard, and that's okay because I had overtime money from the month of December that I balanced forward to the month of November to the month of December. And so my spending was a little high, especially grocery household, but it was Christmas, it was my son's birthday, it was all kinds of things, and we were just enjoying ourselves. So that's kind of where all that came from. I spent $569 on groceries for the first week or two of spending in first 10 days. I was looking at my calendar here. First 10 days of, December. Yeah, it's a lot of money. I normally do 300 for a week and a half or something like that. But yeah, it went up fast, and I was constantly adjusting numbers, borrowing from the next week's pay and all that stuff. But the money was in the account, and it wasn't too big of a deal as far as us actually spending. So that was our first 10 days, restaurants for first 10 days, which is not too bad for us. Usually if we go over, it's always in the restaurant category because we love to go out to eat. Miscellaneous, that was kind of high, and it was really high for 10 days. And then gasoline, well, we didn't drive a lot. A lot of the driving happened to the delivery drivers. So they came to us. We didn't go to them in our shopping, so that was fine. Paycheck 2, which was the 11th through the 24th, all the way up to Christmas Eve, which is 2 full weeks or 14 days. I spent less during this time. Well, let's see. Restaurants went up, but the rest of it went down. And the only reason restaurants went up is my parents were in town, and we ordered food to go, and that's where that went up because that was 6 people instead of 4 people. So, but that's okay. But the groceries, I think, were pretty good for 14 days because normally that's $400, $500, $600 depending on what's going on. And it was the holidays. It was my son's birthday on Christmas Eve. It was Christmas the next day, all that. But this covered all the way up to the 24th. Miscellaneous, I slowed down on the miscellaneous and just completely purchased all of Christmas and gifts and everything out of our miscellaneous unbudgeted, which is our buffer or what's left over in our checking account after bills are taken care of. So I just didn't go over budget there on purpose. I took it from somewhere else. Let's see, gasoline. This isn't all gasoline. I should say gasoline and oil change. I got an oil change at one of those drive-through oil change places, and then I also got a tank of gas. And you can see, let's see if I can pull that up. Yeah, oil change was $84.65, and a tank of gas was $41.53. So after doing those two things, I decided to take the oil change out of the gasoline because I knew I wasn't going to spend it all for the month and still have enough money for gas till the end of the month. So this is what I have left right now. I am over budget in restaurants just by $8. These other categories should cover it. This is what I have left in grocery household. I do have some spending in there already. Actually, I don't have anything left over. I spent all of it. So anything I put in after this point is basically over budget, which may or may not happen. I am not sure yet. And then I have a little bit of miscellaneous left over. I probably won't touch that. And then gasoline, I still have $43. If my husband needs gas, we have plenty of gas. If not, the New Year's right around the corner and we can get gas then and it'll start all over again. This balance forward. So in the income section, you might have saw this number, balance forward subtracted. This is what came from our November budget, and I took that number and I put it here in the income section at the very top, right there. See that number? So I added the income here, even though it's not new income, and it does kind of throw this off as far as new income. It's the same income from last month. But in order for me to spend it, I had to take it out of a fund and put it up here throughout the rest of the categories. Now, I could have used another way of doing this. I could have used my balance forward and just put all the transactions in here and it would have deducted what's in the checking, which is another way of doing it. I haven't really thought about it. It just didn't make sense in my head because I like to title things a certain way. So in order to put that in the budget, in order to spend it, I put it in the income section. This is what's left over after I spent all the money for the month and paid all the bills and everything that's coming out and planned. I still had this amount left over, so I put it back in the balance forward, so whatever is left here in December can move over into January. These are the sinking funds for the month. Now this is my checking account. This is the only part of this savings area is my checking account. And I just grouped it with the rest of the little piggies, and that's the only reason it's there. I just didn't feel like it should be by itself, that kind of thing. Anyway, so here is what I use sinking funds. This is how I track them. This month I did $10 on Amazon Prime annual. Boom, there it is. Disney Plus annual, Microsoft subscription for Apple annually. That has not come out. I'm waiting for that $69.99, and I will put it in as an expense in this, and then this will drop. I've got a little bit saved up for Orkin. The termite spray, every May I have to pay like $2.99 for the contract for them to check the termite. What do they call those things? I think it's like a trap or something that if it's being nibbled on, and they're all around our house, so that would be the first thing to get attracted to termites first. Not that we're trying to attract termites, but if they are in the area, they'll find that, and they can find and see if the termites are near. And also they spray the house for bugs to make sure we don't have any bugs, so we're good to go there. Heating and AC, I have a heating AC guy come out and maintenance every spring and every fall, so this is just the 1-year contract for that. And then we pay the city of Chesapeake for our property tax and something else. Oh, the stormwater. So that comes out of there, and just other things I'm saving for my son's senior year and technology for the future, Christmas fund, any dividends that come to the account, hot water heater replacement because we want to pay cash for that, and a vacation fund. So the rest of it we're not really funding, which we'll see. Savings. So I did get to put my first $1,000 of our 3 to 6 month emergency fund because we are consumer debt free. that first $1,000 into that fund, and I'm super excited to start off the new year with $1,000 in there, and I pray I can do another $1,000 next month. If we can do $1,000 a month for the year, that's going to be awesome every month for 12 months. So that's going to be really, really awesome. My husband gets VA education benefits. This is part of it. I put it in our savings until he's ready to spend it, and he's about ready to do that. So in the month of January or February, whenever he decides to lift his Jeep, I don't know. I'm not a car person. He has a Jeep Wrangler. He wants to lift it a couple inches off the ground. I'm like, okay, get new shocks, other stuff that needs to be done to it. He's got a few $1,000s that's ready for that. So anyway, yeah, no travel expense for the month. Visa prepaid Go card. This is his personal money that he gets on this card that's separate from our bank account. That way it doesn't interfere with the budget or paying bills or anything like that. He got that. This is our housing stuff. So mortgage, natural gas, electric, home security. City utilities has not come out yet. It should come out at any time. Okay, I'm back. So I had a little quick text I had to check real quick. So city utilities, I'm still waiting for that to come out. It should come out either tonight or tomorrow. That's it there. Subscriptions. Sorry. So our internet and subscriptions, things that we have, Amazon Music, CBS All Access, all this stuff here. Our internet, and then my EveryDollar app, which I probably won't do next year. I'm just going to use the free one, I think. Miscellaneous unbudgeted. This is where Christmas went to. So I bought an app that had nothing to do with Christmas. It had to do with math. It was a math app to help me get through my son's algebra. Oh my goodness. Anyway, moving on from there. He's taking Algebra 2, and I'm good at Algebra 1. Not as great as geometry, trigonometry, and Algebra 2 is way above me. So at home, I got some Christmas sale decor. I got another math app here. We were desperate. We were so desperate one night. Anyway, Amazon purchase, Home Depot, that was a refund, and then I replaced it. So really, it only bumped it up $3 and some change. Just odds and ends stuff, all kinds of places. Cleveland Browns, GameStop, baby stuff. Our cousin who has a business selling cookies for mamas out there in Lexington, Kentucky. That was awesome. I donated we donated money to her her business to donate to other people. And I bought some books from Dave Ramsey's Solutions, and excited to get into those. One of them is Rachel Cruz's new book, and that's going to be excited. It talks about how and why we spend money. It's a deep, in-depth research on our feelings and money and all of the psychology behind it and what kind of categories we fall under to help us understand why we spend money. That I'm doing a book review, and I cannot wait to get into that. That comes in January as well. My son's medical insurance, that's going to go way up. Auto insurance stayed the same. Life insurance, the same. So this here is also Christmas. These are a few items. These are bulk Christmas purchases as well. And I just put them in two separate transactions right here. So you don't see them individually like you do in the miscellaneous unbudgeted. That was cash for those. This was put on the credit card, and I paid the credit card right off. So that was good. And then here you're going to see I still have this outstanding $1,250. We are getting the roof repaired and a satellite dish removed and patched, and where there's a leak in the siding and the roof. And so that's just the thing. It's right over our living room part. And we just don't want it leaking anymore. But at the same time, there was something up there that we want to remove. So they're willing to do all of it. And so that's going to be done not Tuesday, but Wednesday, 30th of December. So I don't know. This is definitely not going to clear before then. I have the cash for it. We're going to write a check for the home repair for the company that we hired to do this. But yeah, I don't know. If it doesn't clear in December, maybe I'll move it to January. So if you see it in January, that's probably what I did. Or I'll just leave it in December because it is going to happen in December. And that's the hard part about budgeting. you know something's not going to clear right away. Do you leave it in that month or do you move it to the next month? It gets confusing a little bit. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Let's see, vehicle registration. My husband signed up for 3 years of registration. So I don't have to register my vehicle for 3 years. I just have to make a note of it every year that I don't have to pay the registration and that it's not due until 2024, I think, because it's January 1st, so it's 2021. So yeah, 2024, January 2024. And that's it. So now let's get into January. Yes, start planning for January. So I'm going to flip through my book here. I'm going to pull up my notes on the budget and make sure that I have what I need to put the right numbers in. So first off the bat, this is wrong. My husband got a little bit of a raise. It's a cost of living adjustment. It was about $20. So it's $14.93.60 now for the rest of the year. That's the military retirement deposit. That's what he's going to be getting there. And same thing with the VA. So every year they do adjust for cost of living. We do live in Virginia near the Navy base that we haven't moved far from the base we retired from in Norfolk and things like that. So that went up. Now, as you see me change the numbers, these are going to change up here. So I'm going to kind of ignore that until the end and once I get everything put together and then see what needs to be done. So the next thing is the VA education deposit. That's going down because he's only taking one class. And I don't know what the difference is because I don't really get a breakdown of all this. 85, so $824.85. Rent went up for my son because his SSI went up by $11. So I'm doing $664. He still keeps $130 for himself. I still want him to buy things on his own. I still want him to take care of himself financially independently. But as far as groceries, household stuff, obviously the utilities, the mortgage and all that, we take care of all that. He gives us a little bit of money and then we pay for it. But the majority of this $664 is to pay for his health insurance that we use through TRICARE Young Adult because he is an independent 22-year-old man. Even though he has an intellectual disability, I didn't take his rights away. So he still has that ability to make those decisions and we work really well together as a family. So I didn't feel it was necessary to take that away from him. Let's see, what is next? His salary obviously is going to be different because my husband hasn't gone out. He goes back to his basic salary for the year, and that's going to be $2,269.54. One check gets 54 cents, another check gets 53 cents. So it's only a penny off, but that's just weird. But it is what it is. All right, so he's getting these two salary checks. Dividend, I'm going to put 0 for right now until it actually shows up in the account. I'm not going to worry about that. That's if we have a check, another paycheck, 3 paychecks in a month. We don't have that this month. Now, this transfer I'm taking out and bringing it to 0. And then other, I'm going to take to 0 because we have nothing planned for that kind of money. And so what I have here, and yeah, that's going to be way over budget because I go down to the bottom and adjust all the numbers. What has happened was everything that happened in December went over into January. And because it's in January, it thinks I'm going to have this $1,700 for unbudgeted, and it's going to have this $1,200 for repairs and $1,200 for visa charges. Those are going to go away. So that number will drop in a minute. But that is the income I've got in my books here, so that's good to go. This didn't change. And then I don't have anything planned extra for the month of January, so I'm going to put that back to 0 until we plan something. And then now I need my notes on how much I plan to spend in each paycheck period. Sorry, I'm talking so slow. So I got my notes here. I'm going to put in what I plan. So for the first 7 days, because paycheck 1 is from the 1st through the 7th, it's going to be $300. Restaurants are going to be $200. And then, sorry, my nose itches. Miscellaneous is going to be $150. And then gasoline is going to be $60 to $50. There we go. So that's paycheck 1. Paycheck 2 is a combination of 2 weeks of how I broke it down here. I'm doing a 4 weeks of weekly check-in for the month of January, and then I'm combining 2 weeks because paycheck 2 is the 8th through the 21st, which is 14 days, 2 full weeks of spending, so I need a budget for 2 full weeks of spending. So $500 for those 2 weeks is what my goal is. Restaurants, I'm giving us $325. And then miscellaneous is going to be $275. And then gasoline is going to be 62 and 62. One second. I can't math in my head right now. Okay, 125. 125. And then I'm going to go down here. So the new grocery household for the last week of the month. I got a little, somebody favored one of my budget sheets. That's awesome. I love it when that happens. 200. I do sell budget sheets on Etsy. They're digital downloads, so it's one of my income streams. I don't put it in the budget because most of my budget sheets in Etsy pay for its own advertising right now, so I'm kind of breaking even, and I'm fine with that as I grow and add new products and grow my business. So I'm really new to it. It's been about 6 months, but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it, so it's really cool. So paycheck 3, grocery household, the last week of the month, which I really don't spend a lot, usually is $200. Restaurants are $125. And then, miscellaneous, $125. And gasoline is $60 to $50. So basically, I took my spending categories, and where I came up with my money is I have come into a rhythm of $1,000 for grocery household. That means everything from my food to household items to bathroom items to paper products, everything. If you can get it in a grocery store, guess what? It's going in that column because I don't want to divide my receipts up. I buy it all at once together. I'm the only one that really shops for our household. That works for us. If you have a rhythm where when you go grocery shopping, you only do food groceries, and then throughout the week you go other places for paper products or for toiletries or for shampoos or whatever, or you order them specialty products, then I would separate it. But if you're buying it all at once, just make one big category. So that's $1,000 grocery household. Restaurants are $650 for the month. Miscellaneous is $550. So if we need a pair of shoes, if we need a jacket, if we need new clothes like shirt or whatever, just a couple of items, $550 is the budget for the entire family for the entire month. Also a lot of Amazon random stuff. That's where we have our freedom to spend, is our miscellaneous category. Sorry. And then gasoline is $250 a month. That's what it was before the pandemic hit. I like keeping that there. I'm praying that my husband doesn't have to work from home. Not that I don't love having him home. He's just ready to go back out there. He's not a work at home kind of guy. So there you go. But that I like to keep that number. That way when we slowly come out of this pandemic mode, we still have the same budget for the gasoline, even though we don't usually spend it that much every month. In fact, mostly either goes into savings or another category. So those are my 3 paycheck spendings and broken down, and I can do it live for each paycheck period. I just go in and say, okay, I got groceries. This is what I spend. Oh, I only have this much left for this spending period. That's what I love. That's what I want to see. I don't like seeing it for the entire month because I can put $1,000 in there. I spent $200, but it doesn't tell me that I have $100 left for the paycheck period. It tells me I have $800 for the month. Well, not all $800 is sitting in that account. 100 of it is. And that's what I love about it. Let's see. These are my sinking funds. Balance Forward is the only sinking fund I have here that is not in a savings account. This is actually my checking account, and I'm going to put this down to 0 because I don't know what I'm going to have left over until I get to the bottom. So I'm not going to have a balance forward for February until I know if I have anything left. This is what is in there. If I left that $600 and some in there, $635.65, it would have doubled this number, thinking I had that amount. I don't have anything planned yet. But I do plan, and these numbers for my sinking funds are the same every month. So these work out just fine. It increases this number. That's what the Picky does as a fund for EveryDollar, is if you want the number to increase and carry over month to month, that's what you need to do here. Let's see. I'm trying to decide if I want to leave that 1,000 or not. I'm going to take it out for now because I want to make sure I have enough in my budget to pay for everything. So this is the $1,000 that rolled over at the end of December that I put in here for my 3 to 6 month emergency fund. That is where my snowball payment is going now. If you are on a debt pay off journey and you have that snowball payment and it starts getting bigger and bigger because you paid off a car, because you paid off a credit card, because you paid off your school loans, and it just gets bigger and bigger, that snowball payment now gets to get thrown into your emergency fund to fill up a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. We are looking to fill up $36,500. That's the goal I want to reach. It's going to take us a couple of years, I think, to get there, unless my husband does get overtime, and then that's going to go in there. But that is what we're going to do. I'm super excited to get started. I've already got $1,000. Most of our extra money is at the end of the month, so I don't want to really count on anything until I get to that point and we've actually got the money available. Travel expense savings, I'm up to this point right here, $523.25. I need a little bit more. My husband requested it to be bumped up from $720 to $800 because anytime he does go to a ship and he does have to deploy, he may have to pay for his own COVID test. And he might have to do that. So that would cover the cost of the COVID test as well as his meals. The reason I say that is he is a contractor for the Navy. He has to go aboard ships, but with this time of COVID, it's a little weird. And I guess the Navy's run out of money to pay for contractor COVID tests. But the company should be reimbursing us for that. As far as I know, that's what the rule is. We'll see. This I need to change. Actually, I'm just going to put this to 0 because, there we go. This number, this 1833, is going to be put into checking later transfer either in January or February, and it's going to go to my husband's Visa Go card, his personal money, and you'll see that in a minute, so he can finally get his Jeep lifted. We'll be good to go. I don't have any planned projects for the home. We did get our son's room, both of our son's rooms painted and the bathroom painted, and I'm so glad because I did not know when you paint a bathroom you should wait 3 weeks, yes, 3 whole weeks before you start showering and using the water in there so that you won't get moisture into the paint and it just has that sleek, wet moisture on the walls after you paint. I didn't know that. So they've been using our shower. We only have 2 showers in the house, and we've been sharing 1 shower for 3 weeks now. I'm happy to give them their bathroom back, but that's been taken care of. Travel expense, there's nothing planned right now. My husband did ask for $100 personal money. He didn't want to give that up, even though he's getting all this other money from his savings from the VA education deposit. And actually, this is going to be more than that because at the top, I put a deposit of $824.85. I'm giving him that to put on his Go card, plus the change, so it's going to be $825 plus this $100 down here in his personal money. So I'm going to change that, and that is going to be $925. So there's that. And then mortgage, natural gas. Natural gas did change to 99. That's a big jump. It was really warm all the way up to December, and then it got cold. And we ran the fireplace and all that. So what we've been saving in gas, we're now spending in gas. But our electric did go down to $84.90, just a few bucks, almost $10. And then home security stays the same. City utilities, I'm going to add $15 to this. My parents were here for the week, and all of us showering and extra water and all that stuff. Yeah, it might be up a little bit for the month of January. Cell phones, I'm going to leave the same. This is what we paid last month, so I assume it's going to be close to that in the month of January, so we'll see. I did have to pay stormwater, City of Chesapeake. I think it's twice a year now. I don't know. I'm new to this owning a house thing and a mortgage and all that. This is our first house, and it'll be 2 years in April when we purchased the house. So these taxes and fees pop up every once in a while. Amazon Music, CBS All Access. These are our entertainment subscriptions or business stuff. Again, I blend it all with our budget. It's not that I don't spend a whole heck of a lot, so my husband's good with it. I'm good with it. This is our internet. Unbudgeted. I'm bringing that back to zero, guys. Hopefully we won't have any unbudgeted for the month, but we'll see. Haircut and color. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'll put it in if I do decide to do that. Bible studies. I don't think there's any for January, though Jen Wilkins is coming out with one. I'll put it in if I get it. I haven't decided yet. Okay, this has to change because that has gone up drastically. It went from, let me see the difference here, $459, minus $376. It went up $83. So that's my son's insurance. But it's still worth it because the medications he takes, I mean, he would pay so much more if we had to do the copays and the medications and all that stuff. So we just keep him under military until he's 26, which is only 4 years away. So we got to come up with something new after that. But I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Auto insurance, life insurance, ABC Healthcare. I have not got notification of that. I will put that in if I need to later. Visa. So I'm going to bring this down to 143, I think is what I put in here. There are 2 subscriptions that go to this Visa account to keep it active. Because I want to have a good credit score in case we have to move when my husband finishes his degree and gets the dream job that he wants. And if we don't have good credit scores, it's hard to have get a good loan and good rates for a mortgage. You have to play the game, unfortunately. Even though Dave Ramsey's completely against it, he'd rather people to have no credit score or all that. I can't do it. I just am not comfortable with not being. I hate playing the game the bank makes us play to keep the old debt, the new debt, the revolving debt, all that debt to make them happy, to feel like we're secure. But all they're doing is running us ragged and keeping us in debt and paying penalties and interest when it's not necessary. So I keep the Visa paid off, but I do keep it because it's one of our longest running loans. And as well as we have a $500 overdraft protection, which we don't use much anymore. Things like that. So I'm going to bring, last but not least, the home repairs to zero. Because I don't have any planned home repairs. That was the painting and the roof. That was happening in December, and look at that. Now I'm out of the red. And I don't have vehicle registration that I do need to pay, but I do have AMCO. So my husband went and got an oil change, and then there was a heat shield in his Jeep. I guess welding came loose and it rattled really bad. It was awful. And I said, go get it fixed because the noise is driving me crazy. AMCO. So we got it fixed and the oil change, which was really good. $134.68. Oops. And boom. All right. And the funny thing is, this number is only a couple dollars off from this number. I mean, literally. And I'm not sure the difference. $10.47.35 minus $10.45.26. $2.09. Whatever the difference is, maybe I transposed a number or just put it in wrong. I will double check that later. I won't make you go through all that with us. But this is my budget for January. This is what I have left to budget. So what do I do with this? I put this in my balance forward. Now, as long as this $600 that you see over here comes over to the 1st of January, which we may spend, I can see us spending that before January hits, then that will be included. But if we spend it in December, it won't be included. But what we will have probably at the end of the month, as long as we stay in budget, this $1,045.26 or plus $2.09 if I did the math wrong. And I'll double check that later and make the proper adjustments. But I'm so close, I'm not that worried about it. I'm just tickled that it's that close. When you have so much happening back and forth, it's just like, oh, if it's close, I'm happy. So I'm putting it here in my balance forward. I will let it sit there until I make the decision after the third paycheck of the month, whether I can put that $1,000 away into savings or not, and then leave a little bit for balancing forward into February. That is how I do my EveryDollar. It's a lot, but this is how I end one month and begin the next. And I hope this made sense to you and that this works for you. If you're looking for something like I've done where you want to know live how much you're spending in your paycheck to paycheck spending in your spending categories, not so much your monthly one-time one and done bills that you have. One and done bills are one and done. But when you have multiple transactions happening in a category, like groceries, like household, gasoline, miscellaneous stuff in your restaurants, and you separate it out like I do, or you have different categories, similar spending, but named completely different, which is fine too, just know that you can separate it in EveryDollar, even though it's a monthly budgeting app. It just takes a little finagling. That's all. And it doesn't quite track the same in the I'll show you what this is over here. Just a second. Move myself over here. This is where you can see your percentages of spending, tithing and offering, paycheck spending, what I do in each category, and then sinking funds, savings. If I do savings, how much is that part of the income? How much is housing in the income? Mine's 27%. Internet and subscriptions is only 2%. If you need to know those numbers, that's great. But if you don't really need to know them, how much food percentage to your budget, then just put them in spending categories. Like I never look at these anymore. I mean, the first 6 months of it, I did. But once I got into the rhythm of actually spending the money and saving the money, it didn't matter anymore. So there is that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. And I hope you have an amazing and blessed day. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.